How the kids doing, man?
We live.
Cool.
Yeah, the kids are. I went to school yesterday. Oh, that's what I wanted to share with my class today. I went to school yesterday to paint the. I am in charge of the Christmas. I'm in charge of painting the Christmas thing for the Christmas show at school.
Yeah.
I gotta tell you this, Ronnie. So I'm hanging out with them, hanging out. I got a couple of videos of them painting the thing. So for my people that show up early, I got something that's gonna really. I want to try to kind of break the seriousness of this topic, which it is serious. So we're hanging out at lunch, right? I mean, lunch with him, and Morgan goes, "Dad, what is the 100 millionth president of the United States?"
That's what she said?
Well, first they were like, "What's the 15th president? What's the 20th president? What's the 21st president?" I'm like, "Shit, I don't know." Then my daughter goes, "What is the 100 millionth president of the United States?" I'm like, "That's it." I'm not done. I'm gonna bring it around. Ronnie, little boy's eating his food, right? Sitting next to her. Little boy eating his food. He goes, 100 millionth president. Everybody knows that. It's Donald Trump.
Wow.
Millionth president. I didn't even. I'm like, well, we only have 45. I mean, we haven't gone up past that.
That's where we're at, 45. That's crazy, man. But that's just a look inside of a child's brain, you know, like they're trying to figure it out, right?
He goes, "You don't know that, dude? It's Donald Trump." I was like, wow, man. I thought that was such a game changer for my day. Like they're thinking that we're so old, you know? And then my daughter goes, "Dad, were cars around when you were a kid?"
Which one said that, Morgan or Taylor?
Taylor goes, "Did you have cars?" You know, they don't have a concept of time yet. What's the craziest question you've got so far this week? Because it's something crazy every week, no doubt.
Well, let's see. I think it's crazy with my kids that, you know, they have no concept of money. I'm trying to implement a chore schedule. I have an app on my phone. I invite the whole family to it, and you get, you know, if you do your chores consistently, you get a reward, right? And so like an allowance or whatever we want to call it. Mm-hmm. And Brittany, you know, they're running around the house with these damn iPhones and iPads, and they have no concept of money. Value. Yeah, and earning. So that's what I'm trying to teach them now. It might not be crazy, but I'm trying to teach them.
I am too, brother. TD Jakes talks big about that. He's like, how can you be responsible for something as an adult when you ain't had nothing to be responsible for as a kid?
You're just setting them up for failure. You know, if you're just constantly giving them everything, which we all are doing. I mean, we're all guilty. Because, you know, it's tough because you want your kids to have better than what you had. Right? You want to set them up for success. But, you know, yeah.
In setting them up, they don't have any adversity. No adversity.
They have to experience adversity in order to succeed.
Let's talk about that before we do this, Ryan. Class, welcome. We'll get going. We got 30 minutes.
Great. Let's
roll. RealEstateRoundup.com. Welcome to another edition of Hasko. I'm hanging out with my brother, a car dealer in the Colorado Springs area, buying and selling cars since the late 1990s. He's here to bless you with some knowledge. What up, bro?
What's up, Christopher? Yep, been selling cars since 1993 and eventually bought my own dealership. And I am happy that you are pouring into my life with all of your real estate information, because I found that to be super valuable in my life. And it's funny how similar the businesses are. It's just business.
Yeah, just business. Another day at the office. My mission, my ministry, raise your financial literacy through real estate investing and entrepreneurship. Ronnie, before we get to our topic, stop focusing on money. You and I were talking about the digging. digging before we get to class. Any questions you got before we get into it? Questions you got, please put them in the comment box with your city. Give us a thumbs up. Share this content so we can optimize our numbers on the YouTube ratings. Ronnie, you said something about 10-year digging. Tell me about that before we get to the money, to this topic.
So, people, I try and keep it short. You have to master your craft and you have to be able to deliver a quality service or a product before you can get paid. If you're always focusing on the money, and I've seen it. Have you ever had a friend or that, they go after something, it doesn't make money, and then they go after the next thing and the next thing and the next thing. And before you know it, they got watches and hats and all of this stuff. But, you got to work hard. I worked 10 years at a very low commission percentage while I was building my business.
Nice. 10 years. Unbelievable. Before I forget, I always do. Don't forget, class, subscribe to my channel below. Subscribe to my brother's channel. Don't forget that. Yes, Ronnie, it took me, back when I was in the music business, I worked for 7 years for absolutely nothing. I didn't get paid. I didn't get my publishing deal. So I had been in the business for 7 years, brother. So,
wow.
Trying to create massive value. I got a whole other story about that. But yeah, I didn't even think I didn't even know when I was making any money,
Yeah, exactly.
So I'm bringing Ronnie in today. I get an opportunity to actually see my brother face to face for Thanksgiving. He took me on an appointment with him, and today we're going to cover that just give our viewers a picture of this appointment where you made no money. That appointment didn't make the money, but it set the groundwork for another transaction possibly. So tell me about how that money.
Yeah, so it was kind of impromptu. I just threw you in the car with me, and I was planning on going to do that appointment anyhow. I try to add value to people's lives. So you were more willing to pay me if I can add value to your life, because you can actually see and feel the value that I'm bringing to your life. And so what we did that day is I went and sat down with her and explained to her the differences between what she was currently doing with her automobile transactions compared to leasing, and the benefits that would add to her life. And we spent, what, 20 minutes there?
Yeah, about 20 minutes.
Yeah, just educating her on what she should be doing, how many miles she should be driving a year. And, we even talked to her about, do you really need an Audi? She was thinking about an Audi, and it was like, you really want an Audi? That's $600-700 a month. Or do you want to get something with leather and a sunroof that you can drive, be comfortable with, and not have to worry about a lot of maintenance? And I think that's the way she's probably going to go.
Well, how did we get to meeting with this lady?
Okay, so she's a client of mine. She had purchased a car about 2 years ago, and I follow up with her. So I'm like, hey, how's it going? How's your stuff?
You've already made money already. That money's been made, and you're done. So now we're the follow-up process.
Yes, sir. So I followed up with her just to check in. It's that time of year, see how everything's going. She said that she loves her car, but she's thinking about leasing. And I was like, okay, why don't I stop by your office and show you what leasing is all about, just so you don't get confused or get misinformation out in the marketplace on your own. Because at the very least, I want her to make a good decision, whether she works with me or not.
I like that point, man. You know what? I love to use that line. I don't even know. I'm just want to give you the data. You make the decision on your own.
Correct. So you have to be a master in your field, though, so you can give me the data and you know what you're talking about and you're confident about it. You can't fake this stuff. You got to be able to know exactly what you're talking about.
You can't fake the truth.
Yeah.
Fake the truth.
That's funny you mentioned that. I saw this posting on Facebook, dude. This lady was like, dealers should train guys to be honest. And I didn't post, but class, you're honest or you're not. There's no training you to be honest with your customers, Wow, you're Monday through Friday, Thursday, we evil. And then Friday, man, we're going to knock it out of the park. We're going to be honest all day.
That is so terrible, man.
Yeah, but it's just the mindset,
Well, the good thing about the data that you're giving out is you have zero inventory. I just think that's such a wonderful business model.
Yeah. So check this out. I'll show you. Let me see if I can share this screen with you. It's all about providing knowledge and data to people. So if I have information that's going to be valuable to you, I can show up at your house and I can say, hey, you know what? I've got all of these items available. And hold on, let me share the screen. It's going to go whack for a minute. But like, can you see the screen, Chris?
Yeah.
So I can literally go to your house and go, hey, man, I got 4 vehicles under 300. I got 6 vehicles under 350. I got 6 vehicles under 400. I like sharing that knowledge with people and then explaining to them, here's the equipment you're going to get right there. Here's the equipment you're going to get on this one. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, I mean, it's all about providing valuable information to people and making their lives easier, more efficient, and adding value to their lives, not just trying to take all the time. Like, what I did in the 90s? It was all about this. Okay, Chris, what's it going to take to get you into this car deal today? What's it going to take for you to give me money? And, in the 90s, that's how it was done. But, man, I got away from that. That's just so painful.
They're still doing that, no doubt.
You think so?
Yeah, I've heard it. Sometimes when I would go get my oil changed, I love to just hang out in the little customer service room and just listen to the deals go down.
Yeah. And you could hear him?
Yeah, you can hear him.
Huh.
So what made you turn? What made you turn from focusing on trying to get money out of people, and now you're turning it around? Because as Eben Pagan says, success is so counterintuitive. When we get hungry, we go to the refrigerator. When we get lonely, we pick up the phone to call somebody. When we get cold, we go to the thermostat, we hit the button to get warm. When we're broke, we can't think about making money. We want to think about the dollar, but in essence, we have to create the value, and then the dollar shows up. What was the transformation for you, Ronnie?
I think I talked to a business coach probably about 15 years ago, and we were just discussing things. And he was talking to me about my methodology and the psychology of what I do. And we were talking about a similar thing. Like, I'm always trying to provide value and then ask for the sale. You understand? He had this statement that he used that I really loved. In class, you should probably write this one down. We always get paid for the hard work that we do. Sometimes today, often later, but always eventually. So if you're going to get paid for the hard work you do, sometimes today, but always eventually.
That's so crazy, man. Wow. That's a deep one.
Yeah. I mean, you have to be willing you got to believe in what you're doing. If you don't believe in what you're doing, then it provides no value to anybody. So, but the 10 years of digging that you did, tell me a little bit about the housing stuff. Like, forget about the music industry right now, but like when you got into real estate investing, what year was it? And what was the digging that you had to do to show people that you were valuable?
Yeah, 03, 04 when I started. I got to tell you, when I first showed up to the door of real estate, man, I felt like I was at the bottom. I never been, but the bottom of Pikes Peak, just looking up to that mountain.
Yeah.
Like, man, real estate investing. Who do I know that has even bought a house, more or less flipped a house? I'm like, where do I start? So I joined my local RIA. I showed up. I'm this timid guy, don't know shit about real estate. So challenging, but I bought books and tapes, and for me, I was like, let me just work on getting an understanding of real estate. Forget trying to be the master flipper and do all this. Let me just start consuming data. And at that time, it was no internet. You had to go bid books and tapes, CDs and stuff. It's unreal.
Wow.
But then, yeah, and I'm just Ron, just a few years ago, I'm understanding the concept of giving value. This is new for me. I still, even my 10 years in real estate, I wasn't about getting value. I was chasing money still.
Yeah.
Only about 3 years ago, I learned this concept, this principle that's so big, brother. The more you just give people, man, they'll give you shit. They'll give you whatever you want.
What is it, Jim Rohn or one is Zig Ziglar? You can have whatever you want as long as you're willing to give people whatever they need.
That's Zig Ziglar, yeah.
But they haven't. You got to do it the other way. You can't get whatever you want until you give everything that you want.
But that's what you're doing though with the. When I went with you to that appointment, all I saw was you giving data. I didn't see a lot of questions on your part. I think because you already had a relationship with her.
Yeah.
So I was wondering why you didn't do that, but yeah, that's why.
Well, I wasn't trying to close her. That what you saw was exactly what I was trying to do. Go there. And so here was my main focus of that meeting. Educate her to let her know that I'm an expert at what she's trying to do. She knew I was an expert at getting her the car she needed, but we were breaching leasing. So we're like, okay, let's talk leasing. So I had to go in and show her, listen, I'm the guy you need to work with. I've got all the answers you need for your lease. So when we left, she felt a lot more confident that, oh, I don't need to talk to anybody but Ronnie. I mean, I'm good. And so that's what that meeting was for, man.
Nice. Okay. So you at what point during that meeting were you thinking about getting paid or thinking about your check that you would get from the transaction?
Not once. I didn't think about getting paid, especially not that day. I think we're not even going to talk until January 15th. So, I mean, I wasn't even worried about it. I'm never worried about it.
Why is that?
I'm going to get paid. I know I'm going to get paid. I know I'm valuable. And that's part of the thing that people need to learn in this class is you have to, if you don't believe you're valuable, I never will. I'll never believe it. So you have to own it. You got to build that confidence. You got to look in the mirror every day and you got to know that the product or service you're delivering is valuable, or I never will.
I agree with that. Wow. You're dropping some nuggets today, brother. If you don't believe you the shit, I remember when I was in college, man, I had a few females tell me, you just think you the shit. You think you all that. I'm like, you think I'm all that. You know, I'm just being me.
Yeah.
So I'm like, focus on yourself. I'm just like trying to be the best person I can be. And that's what comes out, brother.
You know, it just works all the time. George Foreman was fighting Muhammad Ali in the 7th round of the Thrilla in Manila, and he was killing Ali, just crushing him. And Ali kept saying, is that all you got, George? I thought,
oh, my Lord.
Is that all you got? I saw this interview. I saw George Foreman give this interview a couple of years ago. You can find it on the internet. And George said, in his mind, he said, that's all I got. So like, it's like what, and then the fight changed and Ali started hitting him and he fell. He didn't believe anymore. He did not believe he could knock this guy out. And, you know, I tell you, Chris, how it started for me, how I became able to give value and know that I was really good is I had to look in the mirror and just lie to myself. You are the bomb. This is great. You're going to kill it. And a funny thing happens. If you do it enough, you start believing it. And then when I started believing it, I'm like, oh, okay, this is really valuable. You know, and so then it starts getting exciting and you get a little confidence. You get a little chip on your shoulder. Don't get conceited, but, you know, stay humble. But either way, you know, you've got to tell yourself that you believe in yourself.
You believe in yourself. Will anybody else believe in you if you don't believe in yourself?
Nobody will. If a magician's like, hey, I'm gonna make this cup disappear if, you know, if I can, you know, and it's all weak and they're all confident. They're like, look at this. Boom, and then it's gone. And it's just all confidence, you know? And before you know it, you're like, where do I sign up? I want to buy your tickets, you know?
But even with that, I think the knowledge that you have up here makes you more confident. And that kind of attracts or pulls, to me, from what I've seen, confidence is just so attractive, man. Even to the, you know, the females love the confident guy.
Well, as we're talking to the class, you can write this on your whiteboard, is that you cannot fake this stuff. Like you can lie to yourself and tell yourself that you're confident and you're going to make it. But come on. What did Chris say earlier? He did the reading. He listened to the books. He mastered his technique. And so that gives you some confidence, and then you got to start believing in it. But don't get this twisted with you can just fake your way around. You got to be able to be confident and back it up with the knowledge and answer the questions.
If this person that I'm talking to now, who is you, is not the same guy, I'm thinking that you worked on yourself to become this person. You worked on, poured into yourself to become this person that provides value.
Yes, sir. I spend money on it every year. Personal development. It's got to be part of your budget. You know, like we all know what we weak in. You know, I try to hire people that are stronger areas than me, but in the back of my mind, I'm like, I still can get a little bit better. You know, working on this other area aspect of my personality or myself.
All right, class, notice we are not talking about money. The money is it is an effect of a cause. What is your cause? My brother's cause is he is knowledgeable about cars. He knows them left and right, up and down, back. I'm telling people ask me, well, is that real estate thing? Does it really work? Does it really work? I'm like, I don't care if the real estate market's going up, down, left, right, forward, backwards, or even sideways. I promise you, people getting paid in real estate every day.
I gave you a lot of knowledge about leasing a car before you did it. That's what it's all about.
Yeah.
You know, what the way you can look at it, guys, is when we were in the dealership, we were really hardcore. And it was, you know, if you had a customer and then they left, everybody would mess with you. They'd be like, oh, they didn't run into a salesman today. You know, and you'd be standing there watching your customer just drive off the lot. You know, when people don't say yes to you, it's because they're lacking knowledge. If I'm standing there about to drop $100,000 with you and I'm saying no, take away that I may not have the money. But, you know, if I have the money and I'm ready to purchase, you haven't given me enough knowledge. We want to blame it on the customers. That is incorrect. Most of the time, the answer to your question and why people are saying no to you is because they need more information in order to make an educated decision. And so if you haven't given them the proper information and been confident about it, they're going to say, I got to think about it. Talk to you later.
It's our fault. Can't blame nobody. A true entrepreneur always. Oh, let me ask you, Ronnie. Does a true entrepreneur pass the buck? Let me ask you that. I'll put it in question.
I think we all do in the beginning. I mean, in the beginning, you want to complain about why this customer said no, or that customer's not coming in. This person didn't. They set an appointment with me and they stood me up. You know, you can look at all different aspects of your career and start seeing things. You know, but those are just flags to make you better. Warren Buffett says, you know, the difference between commitment and conversation is a check. I never do deals without checks, but I had to learn that. You know, like, you know, all you got is conversation if you don't have a check. So, yeah, I mean, you will spend a lot of time whining and complaining about why your consumers and your clients are not buying your products. But until you look in the mirror, you're not going to get any better.
Yeah, I love it. All right, brother, let's see what we got. If you are just joining us, I'm hanging out with my brother. This is Chris Haskins hanging out with Ronnie Haskins, two country boys from Lynchburg, Virginia. Does it matter where you're from, Ronnie, to be an entrepreneur? Is your upbringing or the town you're from have any bearing on whether you'll be successful in the entrepreneurial world?
Well, we have a president that was given some money to start his businesses. So I guess you have to quantify that. Like, you know, they actually, Chris, it's a sad thing. I read an article. It was like one of the #1 factors of making sure that someone is successful is their family. Like how much money and wealth was transferred to them. They started here when other people started here.
Yeah.
Guys, it also depends on what you think success is. If you think success is being the president and you don't have $1 billion or people or access to it or a family that's got a Kennedy lineage, you're probably gonna have a hard road, you know. Yeah. But yeah, I mean, you can still make it without doing that.
Well, you from a country town, Lynchburg, Virginia. I don't even know. I mean, I was thinking our town is almost like a cookie cutter where the franchisees, you know, if you drive down Ward's Road, I mean, it's almost like any town USA now. I don't see any small businesses really.
Well, you know, we had them though, Chris. Like, so think about we have these conversations. We talk about how we got this way, and Mr. Hayes across the street from us, More Circle. I worked at his gas station pumping gas. He taught me how to make change. You know, I'd go out to the car, you give me $5, I'll bring you back $2.60. You know, like he taught me a lot of little things. It was always around us. Mr. Woods in the church, he was a construction contractor. I put popcorn ceilings in your house. That's how old I am. You know, I didn't take them out. I did popcorn. So you take a broom and you do like this on the ceiling. Like I was working for him. He was an entrepreneur, man.
I remember Mr. Woods. He has that store on
churches. We did roofing. I did so many roofs, dude. Like all of these Black men in our society were entrepreneurs right around us. we just didn't recognize it.
Yeah, I didn't. You know what? I was listening to Gary Vee. He was like, entrepreneurialism wasn't sexy until about 2006.
Oh man, when Shark Tank came out, everybody wanted to be an entrepreneur. You know, like, yeah, man, I just need to get some value. You know, it's like, Shark Tank changed a lot of people's minds.
Before we move to our questions, Ronnie, if someone were to come to you and wants to be an entrepreneur and they say, and they use this phrase, all I need is the money. I got all the ideas put together. I've got all of this. I've got the system in place. All I need is the money. What would you say to that person?
What are your sales? If all you need is the money, what do you need the money for? I mean, all I need is the money is a very vague term. It's like, what do you need the money for?
What do you need it for? Exactly. What are you going to exchange for the money that you're getting? It's like, I don't think, I hear it so much. Well, I guess you may not hear it as much as I do in the real estate. I bump into so many people and they want to buy a house and they say, all I need is the money. All I need is the money. I'm like, man, you have got it so backwards.
I think that's why you teach people to do it without money, right? So they can learn. You probably make a little bit less margin, but you know, if you're bringing in money and you're raising money to buy these properties, is it like, it's a conditioning of the mind, right? I mean, it's like, it's more than just the money.
It's so much bigger than that. It is, and not only is it the conditioning of the mind, but just like the habit of paying down principal every month. It's what we do. We raise financing to buy houses. You know, I mean, it's just it's a lifestyle, bro. You know, a mindset.
Got it.
If you think all you need is the money, you're in trouble. You got to learn how to do it without money. Because
Yes.
neither one. I mean, no doubt you didn't have any. I didn't have any starting off. I mean, who has?
No, you're right, man. I mean, it's, and I, you know what, I thought, Chris, for a long time ago, I used to think that way. If I just had $250,000, I could do so much.
You lose it.
Yeah, what I've realized over the years is that that doesn't make you any better. It actually makes you weaker, more complacent, more lazy. You know, so I like the edge of being able to continue to push.
Makes you dumber too, because you think you have reached a certain level that a true entrepreneur has made. If you got this guy that's doing like this, and then you enter here, you don't have anything holding you up. No knowledge, no adversary, no.
People want to buy that. I mean, that's what true investors do. They want to buy that. Like if you have a working system and you're like, Ronnie, $100,000, I'm going to get you 25% of my business. And, you know, we're doing $1 million a year in sales. That's worth a conversation, because I don't want to spend my time learning 10 years of stuff that you already learned. It's like, okay, so don't tell, it's a good thing, guys, that, you know, if you can get money and you got to work in business, I mean, yeah, you know, you can definitely sacrifice some of your equity or whatever and build that. But, you know, if you're just starting out, a lot of cash can really handicap you.
Yeah. All right, let's see. Roberto, what's going? The credit man. Keenan Kid. Hey, Chris, been watching. Awesome. Oh, Wilmington, Delaware. Hey, Keenan. Amanda. Somebody asked me about some tax stuff. Oh, Pole J. What tax forms do you give? This is for real estate. Do you give your private investors at the time of repayment? Pole J. Okay. Oh man, he's coming from New York. Private investors, like for real estate, we don't use banks. We use ordinary people, and we give them a high rate of return quickly on their capital. We'll either give them a 1099 at closing, or we'll just submit the HUD, and then they'll have to pay their own taxes from the HUD-1 settlement statement. Good question, Paul. Henry, thanks for coming, brother. Ohio, wow. Amanda, many blessings. Amanda from Tennessee. Memphis, I'm coming down there. Keenan, he's going to ask, can you show how to work directly with contractors? Yes, I'm trying to get an interview with one of my contractors, Keenan. That is a tough one. My master general contractor doesn't want to be on video, so that is the problem that I'm running into. I'm truly sorry. I'm working on that. Luxury car store, you're back. True success is learning to thrive with new resources. Rainbow Skittle. Ryan, what's up? In Colorado Springs. Ronnie, what company do you go through to sell your vehicles? What company do you go through to sell your vehicles?
Well, hello, Rainbow Skittles in Colorado Springs. If you want to talk to me directly, you can look me up, Auto Search USA, Colorado Springs. Just ask for Ronnie. Now, to answer your question, selling cars that I take in on trade or that I purchase and flip, I have multiple companies. So, Mannheim is one, Odessa is another, Open Lane, Ally. We have access to an awful lot of resources to move units. I am typically retailing cars, so I'm not a wholesaler. But I hope that answered your question. If you want to get to it in more depth, just look me up and shoot me an email.
Gotcha. Tim Brown, Northern Virginia. Hey, brother Ronnie said you have to have adversity in order to succeed. We could do a whole webinar. Maybe we'll do a webinar on some of the adversity we've hit, Ronnie.
Oh my goodness, yes, sir, man. Like they say, the plant it breaks through the ground when it comes out. When you plant something and it grows, you have to have adversity or you'll never grow. You have to be uncomfortable. The more money you have, the more comfort you have, the less successful you will be.
From the start. Though in the book I'm reading, The Millionaire Next Door, he talks about how we have to create a fake world of being uncomfortable, how we got to create it in our minds, because the more comfortable you get, you're right, man. Rosanna, hey, what up, Rosanna? I'd like to vouch Ronnie has definitely helped me above and beyond. Gentlemen, we appreciate your knowledge. Thank you for showing up. We would be nothing without you.
Thank you, Rosanna. Thank you very much. And don't do anything without talking to me first.
Loaded gun. Rainbow Skittle says, okay, he's in Colorado Springs. Nia, words to meditate on every stage of life and business. Danita, you don't need money from family to support you. Hard work. Hilda, hey Hilda, I just got on the phone with Hilda. Toxic price. Keenan, no, you coaching do my coaching clients have to be in Virginia? No, you can be anywhere in the world or in the country. That's it. We don't have any. Jillian is in Hampton. We don't have any questions for today, Ronnie. All right, Ronnie, go ahead and take us out, brother. What else? What last nugget would you like to drop for our class for today? Any other questions?
I had a question for you, really. I was like, what value do you provide? Like you saw what I did when I sat down. I would love to come to Virginia and go on one of your, you're going to buy somebody's house. Like, what value do you have to provide me if like you come to talk to me? I got this house I want to sell. And what value do you give me?
First of all, I'm a good-looking guy in your house.
What?
Nothing. I'm a cool dude showing up to your house, right? That's my first value. I show up. The first thing, Ronnie, is a lot of investors, they won't even go to the house.
Oh.
They'll be like, okay, what do you owe? Blah, 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 blah. All right, we'll call you back. They won't even come.
Wow.
So showing up, bro, 80% is showing up. They're like, hey, thanks for coming in. And I gotta tell you, man, a lot of my value has nothing to do with money. My value is this right here.
Listening.
You really sit down, listening is lost art. Dan Kennedy says listening is a lost art, Ryan. When I go, I'm like this. I cut my phone off. I don't carry a watch in there. I'm like, listen, I'm here to listen to you until you want to stop talking.
Nice.
Sometimes I might be in somebody's house for 2 hours listening to them talk about the neighbors, talk about their brother, their sister, their mother, their daughter, the cat, the dog. And then they're like, you know what? I really like you.
Buy my house, Chris.
I just did it yesterday. I just sit there. My mentor used to say, let them dump their sewer on you. Yeah. And the more you let people listen, even with you, Ronnie, I'll ask you a question. I'll just sit there. I just sit and listen. Nice. I'll become a master listener, brother. And I think listening, I don't know how you use it in your business, but listening, brother, is such a lost art form in our country.
Well, my final tidbit would be, thank you for sharing that, Chris. But my final tidbit would be, listen, we all want to make money for the things that we do. But if you don't believe in what you're doing and provide value to people and forget about the money will never come. You've got to put in the work, and then you will see the rewards start to come in.
Yeah. And for you, Ronnie, it took 10 years. That work was 10 years?
I would say at least 10 years, man. At least.
I look at you sitting there. I'm like, if y'all would have saw my brother back when we used to go visit him. I used to visit you. Well, I'm gonna tell our viewers, if you don't mind telling them, when I used to visit you, Ronnie, I would fly out to Minnesota, wherever the hell you lived. I might have saw you for 30 minutes a day. You were working from, I don't even know, 8 in the morning to 8 at night.
Oh man, dude. But you got to realize too, that's back when I was just chasing money. I would sacrifice anything to go make another dollar.
But it's real though. I mean, you were sacrificing time with your family,
Yep.
which was me. I remember going out there. I'm like, dude, this dude works all day, all night. I saw you at night. We went to dinner. I saw you before you left in the morning, and that was it.
That's when I was like, here's the keys to the motorcycle. Go ride the motorcycle.
I rode the motorcycle to Mall of America, I think. I don't remember.
I'm sorry, man. I should have spent more time with you.
No, I'm just saying. I want my class to know that you putting in this stuff is not easy. You're going to put in a lot of time at the beginning to get the plane off the ground.
You lose a lot of friends, a lot of relationships because you're still focused on your dream, and that's okay.
Yeah, it's all right. It's not. You can always make it up.
Yeah.
Class, thank you for taking the time to let my brother and I pour into you. My final thought for the day is going to be, take a look at your life. Don't be focused, so laser focused on your career that your life goes by. It is December the 7th. Fall's getting ready to leave. We got the beautiful trees out there. Just take a look at your environment, what God has blessed us to be in. And this time, 2018, where you can make money online, this is the best time, Ronnie, I believe, the best time in human history to be alive. I mean, the internet is just leveling the playing field for big corporations and small guys like you and me. We can have an okay life without having to have a Fortune 500 company.
It is really a good time to be trying to chase your dreams and make something of yourself and not just trade your time for somebody else's dream. So if you want to get into business for yourself, it's a great time to do it. Unemployment is like 3.7%.
Wow. Okay, my brother. I love you very much, and I'll talk to you soon, class.
Love you too, man. Have a great day.
All right. Peace.